From match-fixing allegations that got players dropped to secretly coaching your players mid-game, these are 8 more Valorant controversies. Number 1. The Riot Doxxing. Riot doxed 2 players, then proceeded to ban them as well. In the most polarizing move of all time, aspiring pro players Dawn and Razora were suspended for absolutely cooking a user who tweeted one of the best takes I've ever heard after witnessing her friend be teabagged in-game. The user said, "Unless there's express consent from everyone, teabagging is sexual harassment and it has to end." Dawn was clowning on this take, and Razora threatened to teabag her in-game and uploaded a video targeted towards the absurdness of the user and the people defending the take. The community immediately went up in flames, calling out Riot for punishing these players, believing the bans were unjust. But not only did Riot punish them, they also released their real names, doxing them. This had a heavier effect on Dawn, who was outed as trans to her community. Another A+ job from Riot. But what happens when Riot is not involved? Number 2. The Ninja Mauled. Streamer Ninja had a hand in disqualifying a player after accusing them of cheating. Spoiler, they were not cheating. Team BBG would start by sweeping Team Ninja, and accusations would start brewing due to an emerging clip of BBG player Critical having suspicious crosshair movement. Ninja's support of the cheating allegations and large following would lead to BBG being disqualified, allowing Team Ninja to continue competing. With Ninja unable to accept that someone might be better than him, he defended the tourney's actions, pressuring the tourney organizers to stand on business. The community was pretty pissed, telling the organizers that the decision was made rashly and to go look at old Flusha gameplay. After enough backlash and a sneak diss from a voluntary anti-cheat org, the decision would be overturned, allowing BBG to progress in the tournament. Well, at least there was no genuine cheating, unlike our next controversy. Number 3. The Help Sewers Incident. In 2022, T1 coach David Dennis created a 6v5 situation by providing information to his players mid-game. The T1 coach would accidentally type "help sewers" in all chat like he was trying to save Georgie from it. The TSM players were rightfully pissed about this and proceeded to slam David on Twitter in between maps. The next map started and T1 were ahead until a tech pause was called and T1 were swiftly disqualified from the tournament. Riot ruled that T1 would forfeit their match due to the incident, eliminating T1 from the qualifiers. Just makes me wonder how much more he got away with. But we're not done with the coaches just yet. Number 4. The Scrim Leaks. The APAC region would be put on notice after Scrim Leak accusations were flagged by multiple teams and players with no action by Riot. It all stemmed from the refusal of a handshake, where Talent Esports coach Frost would refuse a handshake from the DRX coach, leading to speculation that DRX have leaked scrims. DRX would deny the accusations, but the moment would reignite the scrim leaking discussion within the community. Pro APAC players would start speaking up, saying they provided evidence to Riot previously, and Tier 1 teams would acknowledge just how often scrim sharing happens. Riot responded by essentially saying they couldn't enforce anything. Ironically, they did enforce unintentional scrim sharing on former NRG coach Chet a year prior. Chet received a 6-month ban for streaming old scrim sessions that he still had access to after leaving NRG. By the time he streamed them, the strats were already months old and had little competitive value. Chet would push back, saying that no damages were done and the scrims wouldn't provide any teams a competitive edge, but the suspension still stood. Riot may have been shooting nothing but airballs so far in this video, so surely they'll get it right in our next controversy, right? Number 5. The Turret Bug. At Valorant Champions 2022, a Killjoy turret bug caused it to fire in the wrong direction, leading Riot to call for a replay of the crucial round. A turret was facing heaven while shooting, causing an XSET player to look away from where the retake was actually happening. FPX had already won their match against XSET, but Riot would call for a replay of the round an hour after the match had already concluded. Regardless of how you feel about the ruling, the main reason this decision was so controversial is because the ruling was made an hour after the match had already been finished. FPX would still end up winning the game, but the XSET players would receive a ton of hate despite having nothing to do with the ruling. Well, howdy partner, name's Lee.
Cream grape.
If you're hunting for some mighty fine Valorant content, best hit that subscribe button for WestJet the Kid guns you down. Number 6. The IBP Flashbacks. Players Marved, Shanks, and Poised were all accused of match fixing in CSGO, even drawing attention from the FBI. In 2020, suspicious clips started circulating where these players were making questionable plays that fit the mold of match fixing scandals. Later, these players would move on to the Valorant professional scene, and once they became known, the clips would resurface, causing an ESIC investigation to be launched that also drew attention from the FBI. Team Dignitas proceeded to drop Shanks and Poised, with the community speculating that the reason behind the release was based around these accusations. As of now, no action has been taken regarding these allegations. Me personally, I just challenged the FBI to a Rust 1v1 to clear my name. Number 7. The Zombs Bombs. Zombs pissed off the entirety of Brazilian Valorant after calling their region shit. In 2021, Zombs teammate Shazam made a joke about a tech pause that caused Furia, a Brazilian team, to lose their in-game momentum. The ever thick-skinned Brazilian caster Malau told him to refrain from jokes like this, and Zombs did not turn down the opportunity for clout, saying, "I can't wait to beat your shit region again." Even though a portion of the region did understand Zombs' banter, it still led to both Malau and Zombs receiving death threats from really bright members of the community. No action would be taken by Riot, and eventually Zombs would go on to stir up even more controversy. Just like rap snitches, he would out himself for betting $24,000 on Sentinels, which was his own team. By this time, he had become the co-owner of Sentinels, so many thought this should be against Riot's code of conduct, but again, no action would be taken. For some reason, a mid-tier joke at best antagonized an entire region. Number 8. The Catfish. During a Game Changers qualifier event, a player named Mars had her boyfriend, who was a former pro, play for her. The deception didn't last long, with the community quickly pointing out the differences in playstyle and aim. Riot investigated and confirmed the account sharing, handing down bans and disqualifying the team from the event. The tournament organizers suspended Fallacy while Riot Games investigated the matter, leading to another team taking their spot in the grand finals. In the same year, Team Fallacy had screenshots emerge of players encouraging a male to identify as non-binary in order to compete with them. Mars was involved in that controversy too. I've heard that Mars has since become the kingpin of lies. If you enjoyed those insane controversies, you'll probably enjoy one of these videos too. Also, join the Discord. You can find the link pinned in the comments. Goodbye!